You got both.
Well, I'll be back real quick. Just want to make sure my Logan's door is closed because sometimes leave it open. I don't want to leave him out.
Mm-hmm.
Here you get to see this guy live and in person. I got the action base now, so I can do cool poses like this where he's jumping and shooting. Pew 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 pew.
Awesome. We'll show them that for sure. We'll do that right now because, ladies and gentlemen, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it is time for a new episode of The Lounge, aka Tight Spots Lounge, with your host JR and Nakattack. So let's get them on here as they are going to be talking about 2 movies that are holiday films that are both comedies, and I think you'll both enjoy them. Hopefully, we'll talk about them. But here we are, JR and Nakattack. We're live. What's going on, everybody? It is your boys, JR and Nakattack. What's up, Jet? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well today. We have 2 great movies here, as you can see by the posters on the screen. We're going to be talking about Son-in-Law, which was my pick, and A Christmas Story, which was Nakattack's pick on this episode of Tight Spots Lounge. Our holiday edition, or Christmas special, so to say, as we pick 2 of our favorite movies, we talk about them, and yeah, so it's going to be a good time. Going to be a good time for sure, and thank you for being here, everybody. Nakattack, how have you been, brother? I know it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit of a month. As we are doing this like a monthly series now, due to life and time. But how's everything been?
A whirlwind.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll show off some of my goodies I got.
Yeah, let's talk about some goodies that you got.
So I did pick up the 4K Mad Max collection and the black and chrome versions of those 3 Road Trios that are awesome. And then I also finished my one GoPro. Pew 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 pew. So always cool. I like taking poses and doing pictures.
Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. You also have a new one coming soon, from what I was told today, by you. You have a new statue going to be made in the very near future. So
yeah.
We'll debut it.
A master grade. I've only done high grade so far. Master grade's like the next level up in difficulty, and they're slightly bigger.
I think you can take that challenge.
It'll probably take me most of the year to get that one done.
I think you can do that challenge, and I think being a father helps that. You've challenged yourself with 3 kids, so I think you can challenge it and make this figurine, figure, statue, whatever you want to call it, in no time. Because honestly, you're Nakattack. You can do anything. But today, for me, I mean, honestly, been working, been going to shows, went to see America's top act of 2024, Shabuzi, as he was performing on Wednesday at my hotel that I work at here, and that was great. Really good show. Was like, okay, I've listened to his stuff. He sounds great, but let's see if how well he does live. And it was a great show. And if anyone gets to go see Shabuzi, in their town or neck of the woods, please do. You would enjoy it for sure. Definitely a great show. The crowd was having a good time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. I mean, what about everybody else in the chat out there listening in? Let us know how you guys have been, and what have you been up to, and how's everybody's holiday shopping going. Everyone hopefully has gotten their shopping done. It's 12 days till Christmas, 18 days until the end of the year. So crazy how time has flown. And in no time I'll be 40 in March. So, but yeah, so we're here. We're going to talk about two great movies, Nakattack, as we crunch in our shows now a little bit, and bring the people what they want, more action in a little bit of time that we have here. And I chose Son-in-Law. You chose A Christmas Story. Where do you want to start, Nakattack? Do you want to which movie do we delve into first? You get to choose.
Let's do it the order you got the posters. We'll start with Son-in-Law.
Okay. All right. So, Son-in-Law, a 1993 comedy rompus of a flick, was my pick.
This is peak Pauly Shore right here.
Peak Pauly Shore. A great movie where you expect a fun time throughout the entire movie because it's Pauly Shore. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Pauly Shore is a comedian. He was also an MTV VJ, and somehow got an acting career and made a couple flicks in the 90s, which was it defies the 90s as I don't know. I mean, would you say like C-rated comedies? Like, but it.
Pauly Shore is the king of what I call the California comedy.
Okay, wow, I've never heard of that. Talk about that, Nakattack. Why is he the king of California comedy? What is California comedy to you?
Sure. Well, it's not really a thing so much anymore, but in the mid '80s to early '90s, there's like 85 to 95. There's like a ton of comedies that were kind of California centric. I mean, it kind of started with Bill and Ted, maybe with Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but you always had like these characters that were like either surfer dudes, kind of stupid but very lovable, who were the leads in like a ton of these comedies. And Pauly Shore was like in a bunch of them. Encino Man, In the Army, like Pauly Shore is basically playing the same California character, fish out of water, in all these weird situations.
Well, I think
that's what I mean by California comedy.
I think the true definition would be it's a stoner comedy. Is
it though?
It isn't. It isn't. Not a true stoner comedy, like Pineapple Express or like Super Troopers, which was kind of a stoner comedy because a lot of those guys are stoners.
What's kind of the weird thing? Like Pauly Shore, like kind of plays like the stoner character, but
yeah.
His characters were never really like drug users.
Yeah.
The gimmick is like he's just this crazy California guy.
Yeah, and not all Californians are like Pauly Shore in this movie, or Crawl for that matter, who is an RA at a college, and I just want to say, like, if you haven't seen it, guys and gals, if you guys have never seen this movie, you're just like holding back on yourself at pure comedy gold of the 90s. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of other great comedies as well that are highly respected, highly regarded. In our mind's eyes, Pauly Shore was kind of like what we looked up to. Or I did, personally, because I thought Pauly Shore was great. I thought Encino Man was great. I thought In the Army Now with Andy Dick and himself was a great movie because it was a comedy about the war, and it was different from like, it was kind of like our years.
That's my favorite Pauly Shore movie as far as his comedies go.
In the Army Now? In the Army Now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it was like it was like our version of MASH, for that matter. I mean, because MASH was a comedy about the war. It was a lighthearted series that a lot of people enjoy and love. And this was like kind of, in the Army now, not Son-in-Law, but in the Army now is kind of like our ode or their ode to MASH, kind of, like in a way. I think, I don't know if it's true, but I would say that. But we're not talking about that movie. It maybe come down the line. Maybe one day we do talk about In the Army Now. But today we're talking about a down-home cooking of a movie.
Stay tuned. Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day. Memorial Day. 4th of July. In the Army Now, covered by J.R. and Nakattack here on Tight Spots Lounge.
Double feature with Ernest joins the army or whatever.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be fantastic. I think we would have to do that. I think we would also have to bring in, I don't know, someone else's thoughts on Ernest Goes to the Army. I think Ernest is a great. On another topic, I think Ernest was
the only
definitely.
thing that sucked about Ernest in the Army was like that was knee deep into the straight to video Ernest era. So that was like super low budget. And it wasn't as good as other movies. Yeah,
Ernest Goes Stupid, which was a great horror comedy, like a children's horror comedy kind of with the trolls and all that. But I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to spoil that if you've never seen that one. Instant classic in my book. For kids movies, but yeah, Son-in-Law, man. What do you? Damn, I don't know. I don't know how to explain this movie because it's like, okay, you have this kid, you have this girl, country home girl down from South Dakota, decides to go to California for college, and great, kind of like, okay, she's gonna go to college, she's gonna, meet Pauly Shore somehow because he's the character.
You get a double fish out of water story here because what's her name? The girl is the fish out of water to start with, and then Pauly Shore becomes the fish out of water when she decides to bring him home for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
He was gonna be by himself.
Yeah, she decided, he helped her a little bit at college with how the style change of her clothes and the overall makeup of her personality has changed because she met Crawl, and she was like, she felt sorry for him for having him stay in his Steven Tyler PJs, which I love that line, and I know you probably laughed at that when he said that, right there, Nakattack.
It didn't make any sense, but it was funny.
Well, okay, so we all know who Steven Tyler is. He is the lead singer, or was the lead singer because they retired.
Corpse that's currently the lead singer of Aerosmith.
Yeah, which they have, they're no longer doing touring because Steven Tyler's health is not that good. So yeah, unfortunately, I will never see Aerosmith live, which in my sense is all right, but we'll see him one day in heaven probably or wherever they may go. But I'm getting up the cast list. Rebecca Warner was the character's name.
I keep reaching for my drink. I got it stored up top here.
It's okay. My drink is right here next to me. It's water. But yeah, so Becca is helped by Crawl to change her ways because she wants to go home because of a Halloween party that goes wrong, where her roommate lets people into the room and her horse is broken, which they really don't go back to that at all as a piece in the movie, which is cool. Maybe
it was just the MacGuffin that made her want to leave California. Yep. That's all it really was.
Yep. You're correct. So Pauly Shore's character Crawl stops her, helps her out, gets her to change her mood about being in California, and yeah. So fast forward a little bit, like we were talking about how she takes him to South Dakota. Becca's father was like, holy shit, we bring the RA back to South Dakota State after South Dakota after the brief interaction that he had with him in the dorm room when he was hanging out upside down, doing some exercises or whatever, or trying to sleep upside down or whatever. But yeah, so hilarity ensues the entire time they're home. At first, our good friend who is in the movie,
Lane Smith. Sorry, I had to look him up.
Yeah, Lane Smith plays Walter.
You've seen him in a bunch of shit.
Yep, Lane Smith played Walter. Cindy Pickett played the mother Connie. Mason Adams was great as well as the grandfather. Patrick Reyna, who was in the big Mean Bean Green. And up to another
90s star that just kind of disappeared with the 90s.
Well, he's still around. He's been doing TikTok reels, and he just had a podcast with Pauly Shore about this movie, actually, which is pretty funny. I haven't watched it, but they go back and talk about their time on the set together and all that, since, Paulie's still kind of relevant in the underground comedy scene. He does his shows out here in Vegas and elsewhere as well, on the West Coast and the East Coast. He does travel, but Patrick Reyna does stay kind of relevant now, but not really mainstream relevant, I would say, but definitely is out there on the social media stuff, because a lot of the celebrities now from the 90s are doing that to reconnect with their fans from the early ages of their career and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Patrick Reyna, I mean, Zach was kind of not happy to have Krull there, but they reconnect. They definitely work towards a bigger friendship in the movie, because Krull helps him get his computer working right, and hack into, I think, the school system or something like that. Am I right? To change Zach's grades.
I forget what it was. It was just that one scene, and then it was like done.
Yeah, it was just that one. Yeah, just and then so that made him stand up for Krull after Trevor puts him into the ringer of being a cowboy on the farm there, helping out that Walter owns. And yeah, anything you want to add? Continue on there, Nakattack.
About just the movie. The movie kind of switches genres halfway through. It becomes a rom-com for the second half, which is fine. It still works. But yeah, the first half is definitely like the California comedy, which I dub.
Yeah,
and then it switches genres to like a rom-com in the second half, but it's fine. Pauly Shore has surprisingly good chemistry with I'm sorry, what's her name again? The actress, Becca, the character.
Becca, the character's name is Carla Gugino.
Yeah. Yeah, she and Pauly have good chemistry on screen, so the rom-com stuff works.
Yeah, definitely. And then you have the boyfriend in the movie, which we, which was played by Dan Gauthier, Travis. But we also have Tiffany Amber Thiessen, who is a big 90s star from Saved by the Bell, Kelly Kapowski, as Tracy, who we get mentioned on in the first couple scenes of the movie when Rebecca calls back home to talk to Travis, and he says, "Damn it, Tracy, what? I told you to be down." And then, Becca doesn't know what's going on yet. We kind of put two and two together a little bit that this Tracy chick is the one that Travis is cheating on with, or seeing, while Becca's off at college. So we finally meet her down in the storyline when Becca takes Krull out to get into the local flair of things with the own outfit like he did for her in California, which hilarity ensues at the store a little bit with what he tries on. And then we see his outfit later on in the movie where they are all out to dinner. And Travis was going to propose to her. at said dinner. And so this is where the rom-com party starts, where Crawl had to save Rebecca from this proposal, as pretending...
Awkward proposal.
Yeah, awkward proposal, because...
She did not want to accept.
Yeah, she did not want to accept at all, one bit, because she kind of grew apart from him. Basically, she didn't feel...
She was basically finding herself. That's part of the transformation she was going through as a character.
Mm-hmm. She was finding herself. She was tired of maybe settling for her high school sweetheart. She wanted something more, something different in her life. And from there, Crawl pretends to be like, sorry, Travis, I've already gotten engaged with her at college, and she said yes. Here's your ring, Becca. Gives her a ring off his finger, and Travis storms off, and then a little awkward, not awkward, but little situation happens, and Travis knocks him down on his ass with one punch to Crawl in an argument.
The funniest part of the movie is the way Paulie reacts to getting whacked.
Yeah. Oh, why'd you do that, man? It's like, yeah, it's great. He's like crying on the floor, and that was a great scene. And then we go on, find out, Travis decides to become a good guy. So we thought, and nobody thought that, but he decides to do the bachelor party.
We don't need to go through scene by scene by scene.
Okay, all right, go ahead. So in the end, this movie, you find that the family accept Crawl because he's the better fit for their daughter, because they realize that Crawl is a good guy, and Travis is complete asshat, and not worth Becca's time, or anyone's time for that matter, as they set Paulie up, supposedly that he cheated on Becca with Tracy, but that never happened because of the bachelor party that we were going to talk about, but that's not going to happen. Which was
all of the story is basically, you don't judge a book by its cover, and the family learns this together.
Yes, correct. I would agree with that. So, overall, great movie, great times. Definitely will want to watch it again because it's a fantastic 90s classic. And Nakattack, real quick, what are your thoughts on the movie? We're not going to get the final rating until the end, but yeah, what are your thoughts on the movie? What are overall, anything else you want to say about it?
No, it's funny. It's not like laugh out loud slapstick stuff like Naked Gun, but I mean, I definitely had a few legitimate laughs watching it again. And the last time I saw this was like when it first came out, so it was. I was a kid then, so probably about as old as the kid in this movie at the time. So it was kind of I got some more jokes this time that I didn't get on the original run. So because of some of the more innuendos stuff, but yeah, it was good.
So also, you're telling me that your wife, never saw this movie. What was her thoughts, real quick?
So she liked it.
Oh, good.
I was kind of surprised because she's as old as me.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you miss these Pauly Shore comedies? Like that was like the thing, especially for kids back in the '90s. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she was a little sheltered. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe her parents didn't let her watch them, but who knows? But that's
always like, my parents watch TV, not movies.
Sounds exactly like her. I love it. But yeah. So that was my pick. We'll get a final rating after Nakattack's movie, which was the Christmas classic, which you can see on TBS 24 hours on Christmas Day.
At least 12 times on Christmas Day.
Yeah, at least 12 times, or or if you have the DVD, you can watch it all year round, or on Blu-ray or whatever. And that is the Christmas classic, A Christmas Story. Nakattack is grabbing his copy right now off the shelf, as you can see.
Other goodies they got. I picked up the 4K.
The 4K classic.
I will say, A Christmas Story is not a demo disc for 4K, but the movie still looks really good in the format. So, if I had the Blu-ray, I wouldn't upgrade to the 4K, but I didn't have this movie since it was on VHS. So I saw that price and I was like, I'm getting it. Like, I love this movie. It's like one of those. It was like a big gap in my movie collection, not having that there. It's so good. I love this movie.
A big gap. So when the gap is filled, that hole in his heart where the Christmas Story is supposed to be is now filled. So Nakattack, let's get a rundown of this movie from you.
Sure. Well, just real quick, when John and I were talking about what we were gonna pick for this show, like we were kind of struggling a little bit for a Christmas movie, and I was like, hey, why don't we just go with the GOAT and do A Christmas Story?
And I said, why not?
I think my poster in my kitchen fell. I have a poster in the kitchen to remind the kids to wash their hands.
Wash your hands, kids. It's the cool thing to do. I don't know. What was that?
But in case you're living under a rock, because A Christmas Story is the tale of a little boy trying to get his Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas, despite the whole world telling him he's going to shoot his eye out, and it's a dangerous.
You shoot your eye out. You shoot your eye out. Okay, go ahead.
And I showed this with my kids. It's the first time they saw it. They are 11 and 7, and they didn't hate it, but they didn't quite get it. So I don't know if it's a generational thing, or maybe they're just still a little young to kind of get like how brilliant this film is. I mean, they definitely laughed at some parts. They loved the tongue on the pole bit and the whole bit with Santa Claus in the store. Like, they love that stuff, but I don't think they quite got like some of the more subtle things going on, like when the way Ralphie's older Ralphie in the narration, like his witty dialogue when he's like, is there no end to this conspiracy? When his teacher reveals that you'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah, that was great. I think that's more an adult humor, like not really like adult humor, but like adult level.
Mature humor. It's just maturely written.
Yes, and
it's not dumbed down for kids.
And
which
nothing.
is probably why this movie's so beloved, because it's for everybody.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. I think it's a movie that's all for all generations to see, but also for all generations to continue watching through their age improvement of learning abilities and capabilities of connecting with movies. And it's a pure classic in my book. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it, like, because honestly, like, for the most part, throughout my year's history of watching this movie, I've only seen bits and pieces, and it's like, oh, okay, I come in at this part. But you know the scenes when
movies you've seen entirely, just not from beginning to end.
yeah, that's true. So go ahead, continue. I'll let you talk. Sorry.
Oh no, well, this was the first time I kind of watched this movie through the lens of a filmmaker perspective, and I was kind of impressed with the script, how there's so many little payoffs, so many setups, and so many little payoffs. And it was also kind of surprising how they do it in one scene and then immediately pay off in the next. And usually that doesn't work, but in this film it does. I guess because even though that's happening, there's a bunch of stuff that's kind of building along to the larger story at play. So it's really good screenplay.
I agree. It's really well written. You find out a lot about their characters in the movie a little bit, with Ralphie's storytelling of the bullies and the friends and just the scenarios that happen with the people that are involved in the Christmas Story, of the dad getting the the big win, which is turns out to be a leg lamp. The mom's
It's a major reward.
yeah, it's a major award. We won and fragile. It says fragile. Oh, it's fragile. Like how the mom is like correcting the dad to say fragile. It's. I think that's like. I got it. Like when I was a kid, I heard people saying fragile. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. And now as a when you grow up, you're like, oh yeah, that's what they meant. That part in that classic movie, that you know it's just another funny part in another story world. Like, oh, the dad's kind of dumb, but the mom's kind of smart, and all that. But go ahead, continue.
Oh no, yeah. Well, just like with that scene in particular, it's so funny when he first pulls the leg part out, and he's like, "It's the leg." Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, and his wife's like, "But yes, but what is it? A leg." He's like, "No, wait. This is a lamp." And then on top of that, like his wife's so upset with him because he's so proud of it, and then we take it the next level up as he puts it in the front window so the whole street can see it. But then like the whole neighborhood starts stopping and like gawking and they're impressed by it too. And she's just in the window just so embarrassed like this.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And you know what's the funny thing is? It's still like it's an American symbol. People yearly who don't own it yet will buy a leg lamp. Every Christmas. Somebody, at least one person in this entire country will receive a leg lamp for Christmas. I don't know if that's a stat, but I'm just making it up. I think, you see it in the stores every year. At least somebody buys it. You see it on a Christmas tree somewhere in someone's house as an ornament because honestly, they're made. People buy them. So, like you said, it's a generational classic where it's been since 1983 when this movie came out that every year a new fan of the movie is made, for sure. Or an item related to a Christmas story is sold in stores. And maybe down the line the movie isn't always a Christmas classic or people's favorite, but every year there's at least 100 hours of screen time for this movie. So
it's been 40 years and it's still going on strong as being like one of the go-to movies people watch at Christmas time.
Yeah, so I never hated this movie. I thought, it's definitely, and I'm going to say this was definitely at the time showcasing how families were with Christmas. Not every family, but how kids were. They always wanted one item. They wanted, a BB gun, or they wanted skates, or they want something that's unsafe until they learn how to do it with adult supervision kind of stuff. Like, I never wanted a BB gun when I was a kid. I always wanted a super soaker or something like that. But at the time in the 80s, kids wanted BB guns or Red Ryder rifles. Because they thought, cowboys were cool back then. And they still are.
Oh, I had a BB gun.
Oh,
as a kid.
Well,
believe it or not, you can actually, those things can potentially shoot your eye out, because I remember we would shoot like soda cans, and those damn things would bounce off those cans right back at you.
Yeah. And
I remember one like hit me in the forehead. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna shut my eye out.
I never had one, but yeah, like I agree. Like BB guns, if you're not acting a fool with them, then you're safe. I mean, accidents happen, like freak accidents happen.
Well, let me say that a BB gun is not a toy. It is still a weapon. It's not as deadly as a regular firearm, but you can still seriously get hurt with those things.
Yeah. Continue, Nakattack. Go ahead.
Oh no, just I mean I lost my train of thought. You had me going on the BB gun, but yeah, it's just one of so many memorable bits in this film. Like every scene in the school is great.
Yeah, I mean that's how kids looked at school as. You know, the the aspects of recess, the bully, which I never really had an older kid. Well, I kind of did.
Oh, that's right. This film has one of cinema's greatest bullies. And it was Scott Farkas
Yeah,
and Grover Dill, the
yeah,
toady.
yeah, yeah. See that guy.
Those names are brilliant. Like
Yeah,
those are like just the peak bully names.
Grover Dill.
I think Biff Tannen might be the only other bully that's like better than Scott Farkas as far as movie bullies go.
I love Biff. I mean, honestly, Biff is definitely one of those guys, classic characters that
We
were
got to spend a lot more time with Biff. That's why Biff is a bit more of a better movie bully. We don't see Scott Farkas as much, but Scott Farkas is very effective when he does show up.
And no, we see Biff through three movies, and definitely how time and space continuum and how one weird move can change all history. Kind of like, oh, you changed one time here, you'll change it into the future, and now you have to go back to the future to fix the present or anything else or something like it. Like, if you guys haven't seen Back to the Future, then you're fucking missing out. Those movies are top 10 favorite movies of all time. I think, in my opinion, for me, because I liked Michael J. Fox, and definitely we'll talk about those sometime. We'll probably even do a whole thing about it in the future. We'll see if we talk about that. But yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Go ahead. But those bully things is cool.
I'm impressed with the child actors they cast. Like all the kids are brilliant, which you never know what you're gonna get with kid actors. Like usually there's one dud, but there was no duds in this film. Like all the kid actors just hit it out of the park.
Yeah, Peter Billingsley was great.
Yeah, the scene where he breaks down after beating up Scott Farkas. I mean that's legitimately great acting.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been very hard for him to film that because those tears, like that all just seems so real.
Dude, yeah, Scott Farkas, he was just like, you son of a
Murder.
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, and
Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah. Those kids were great. I mean, I don't know how everybody, the casting director and everybody found these guys, but I'll tell you what, like the complete cast of the side characters, the main characters and how they interacted, it made the movie because it all worked together to realize that, like, and talking about how these two movies have like the most iconic scenes based around a turkey. All right. So Son-in-Law, to throw it back, had the point of where Crawl supposedly gave the turkey a heart attack, and they bring it into the kitchen. So the two best kitchen scenes, minus American Pie, where you have Jason Biggs' character fucking a pie. You have a turkey getting eaten by dogs in A Christmas Story, and you have Son-in-Law with a live turkey running around that ends up finally being the plate that they eat anyway. So yeah, the two most like iconic turkey scenes of all time happen in these two movies. So Nakattack, your thoughts on those two scenes? Because I had to bring back Son-in-Law because of that in this movie, because of Christmas Story.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. I noticed in Son-in-Law that one part the bird actually hits the camera, and they just kind of left it in the film. And I think that might have been a real bird that was just running amok amongst the cast there, because it just seemed like, because the way it hit the camera and it was just so chaotic.
Yeah. I mean, it was flying around the kitchen, and like, everybody was trying to grab it. And just like, it was hectic. But in the end, the family wins and they have their turkey. and son-in-law. But in Christmas Story, it's a happy ending because they get to laugh about it and enjoy a great Chinese Christmas dinner with a duck that still had its head on.
I guess with a sort of now controversial scene. I mean, I know some people think that final scene's racist. I'm not. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean, I don't necessarily think it is. I can kind of see why people would say it is, but
yeah, I don't
it
think
doesn't seem like it's making fun of Asian people per se. Just
no, it's
there's rah rah rah, which I get is kind of like okay, but at the same time, the characters are Chinese and the language has trouble, especially if you're not native English speaker, you have trouble making the L sound.
yeah. So they're not.
I don't know. I just want to throw it out there like that. That is a controversy, but I don't. I mean, there's definitely worse stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's that controversial. I do get what you're saying. In about that scene where the owner of the restaurant or the head guy or the manager or whatever is trying to have the guys sing the Christmas carols and they're not pronunciating the words right. And I mean, honestly, if anything was like, it's
not like they had like white actors in yellow face or something.
Yeah.
It's been done in Hollywood before.
Yeah, and so there's slight racism, but not like full on dumbass racist bullshit. But it's not like done wrong or anything. It's just showcasing like where they are in their town with the Chinese restaurant, and it was just like 3 minutes, like not even 3 minutes of a movie. It's like maybe 20 seconds or so, like of a clip, or even a minute or two. But it's not racist. I don't.
Yeah, and in the end, the family is applauding them, and they're so happy that they're celebrating Christmas at their restaurant.
Yeah, so. Because of everything that's gone on in their lives. I mean, the dad lost the lamp. The mom was kind of losing their family, and like the holiday, and the son had to get new glasses because of the BB gun because he stepped on him, and the little kid was not eating dinner. I think that's what his problem was in the movie. I don't know. There was no direct like storyline for the younger one, which you didn't really need it because everything else was evolved around Ralphie, and also the pink bunny suit PJs that he received from his aunt was another part of the story of the movie. Nakattack, what is your favorite part of the movie? Was it the pajamas? Was it the gun scene, or what? What was your favorite moment of this movie?
No, it is the moment when Ralphie does in fact shoot his eye out. It's like it's coming, and just the delivery of his narrator self just going, "Oh my God, I shot my eye out!" Just the build up from the whole movie of him being warned, this is gonna happen, and then when it eventually does happen, it's so funny because he realized, "Oh my God, I actually did it."
Yeah, I agree.
I'm laughing right now just thinking about it.
And also, I loved the the vignette, like the flashbacks, not the flashbacks, but the flash, like the
daydreams.
The daydreams, yes, sorry, daydreams, where Ralphie is like a cowboy and saving his family, and like it is 80s like definitely directing of a movie, but also it's done right to show like a family in the late 70s, early 80s, because this movie came out in 83. So
yeah, but it takes place in the 50s.
Oh, okay, yeah. I did.
That's why they don't have TV or anything.
Oh,
that's why they're listening to Little Orphan Annie instead of watching,
Oh, Lincoln. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I didn't get that. I was thinking it was like 70s, but. That's
the only thing that can pull you away from the glow of electric sex.
yeah. There you go. But yeah, be sure to drink your herbal tea. Damn it.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. That was great too. But anything else you want to say, Nakattack? Go ahead.
Just real quick, like in context of when this was made, like Bob Clark at the time was only known for making like these grisly horror films. Like I think Black Christmas was the film he did before this, and I've seen Black Christmas, and you can actually see some elements of Black Christmas in A Christmas Story.
Okay.
Like the POV shot when he's with Santa Claus, like that was like straight out of Black Christmas. He did POV stuff in that movie, but it's such an interesting when you see a guy that's known for like horror take a stab at comedy, and when it works.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. I mean, honestly, it shows that he can be multifaceted and it works.
Yeah, if you've never seen Bob Clark's Black Christmas, I highly recommend checking that out because it's a really good horror film, proto slasher flick.
Mm-hmm.
But watch that and then watch A Christmas Story, and you'll kind of see similarities in style. It's interesting how he transferred that to a comedic film where that was very effective in the horror film too.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I've heard of Black Christmas, but I've never seen it. But I definitely want to see it. I'll definitely go watch it. It's in my back catalog of movies to watch for sure.
There's so many movies. I get it.
Yeah, there's so many movies.
I just saw Black Christmas for the first time last year, I think.
Oh, okay.
When I
Yeah.
had Shudder, it was on there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna finally watch this." And then I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, that's really good." No wonder everyone says this is a good movie.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Is it time?
It's
Get
getting
ready
there.
to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's the call. That's my fake yawn. Not really fake yawn, but real quick for anyone who wants to see a dumpster fire of a movie, supposedly according to Hollywood and according to the box office draws, Red One is available now on Prime and Paramount. So you can watch The Rock's new Christmas movie. Available now on Paramount Plus.
I know I saw a trailer for that, and I was like, meh. And then I see all these reviews like it's like the worst thing ever, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it was that bad. But
yeah, when I went to Max to go watch this and also watch Beetlejuice, which I finally watched, which we'll talk about one time soon, hopefully in the very near future. I know Nakattack wants to watch that. Did you get Max at all? Did you get Max during the deals?
No.
Okay.
Just the mad one.
Huh?
We did get Hulu though. We got Hulu now.
Oh, you got Hulu. Okay.
Oh, and I started watching Alien Romulus today. The
Oh.
first 30 minutes are pretty good.
Okay. I have not seen that. I haven't seen that. I watched Beetlejuice. It was pretty fun to watch. We'll talk about that in another episode, hopefully. And yeah, there's another one of a movie that I have. Okay, real quick before we get the final ratings, but there was another movie when I was watching. I think I was watching Christmas Story, and it was 8-Bit Holiday. It stars Neil Patrick Harris. I don't know what it's entirely about. I think it's about video games and how video games like created Christmas, kind of like in that sense of time
is it
period.
a documentary? It almost sounds like a documentary, maybe.
I don't think it is. It's a comedy. I think because he's talking with a kid in the movie. I really didn't sit down and watch it. I just saw bits and pieces of it, and I'm like, oh, I might have to watch this because it should be funny. But let's get to it. Our final ratings for Son-in-Law and A Christmas Story on Tight Spots Lounge. So, my ratings for Son-in-Law is I would watch it again. Maybe not right away, but, I think it's 4.5 out of 5. It has aged very well. It would be cool to see a modern day version of it with all the upgrades of technology and how dorm living is not like that anymore.
This is an effects heavy film. I don't know why he said that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like storyline wise, like the payphone in a dorm room. That's whatever. And A Christmas Story is 5 out of 5. It's a timeless classic. I think as kids grow,
we got a remake of that with that that sequel they shot out last year.
Well,
I don't care to see it.
well, there's a sequel that has nothing to do with them and with different actors. But I
Well,
heard.
yeah, the summer. I've talked about this before on the show, but that movie's better than it deserves to be. It's a hidden gem. I love the summer vacation Christmas Story sequel movie.
I've never watched it. So it's on Max. I may have to watch it. And yeah, the Christmas Story Revisited. I saw that on Max as well. I haven't watched it either. And Nak's like, I don't want to watch this. I'm like, okay.
I saw the trailer for that and I was like, nope, nope.
All right, a big nope from Nakattack. So Nakattack, final ratings for both movies. Go ahead.
What was your rating for Christmas Story?
Christmas Story, 5 out of 5.
Okay, Son-in-Law is a 3 out of 5 for me. Solid watch. If you love comedies, it's worth watching. If you're not into comedies or Pauly Shore, you're probably not going to find much here. But good movie. Yeah, it still holds up. I laugh. I don't really ever need to see it again, but if it's on TV, I'll probably stick around till the commercial break. So, yeah.
I love
again,
it.
Christmas Story, The Goat. It's a Christmas essential. It's 5 out of 5, easily. So, yeah, there you go.
There you go. There you go. Those are our ratings for A Son-in-Law and A Christmas Story. We don't have any idea of when we're returning in January, but we'll let you all know. Because honestly, we'll probably continue doing the way we're doing it. I think it works better when we do 2 movies and have it just once a month. Do you agree, Nakattack? Does that work?
It is working a little better for me.
Okay. Because
sometimes I watch both movies in 1 week, whereas before it just felt like I just had to rush to get them done for whatever reason.
Yeah. So
I feel like I got more time to watch like the 2 movies, and it's just a little easier.
So guys, stay tuned for when we return. It's going to be a great time for sure. We look forward.
Of course, we're going to be in the Trump era then.
Oh yeah. maybe we can't even do this anymore. Maybe people are like, oh no, the Trump era, they're gonna deny them podcasting or whatever. Who knows? I'm looking on Twitch to see who to raid. Let's go raid our boy Shano. I'm giving him this raid because his Eagles are playing. Well, Nakattack's Eagles are playing my Steelers this week in a pivotal game for both teams. For
oh my.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon. On Fox, I believe, or maybe CBS. I'm not even sure where. I think it's on CBS. It's gonna be an awesome game. You should watch it if you have time. And it won't let me raid Shauna.
Put it on the radio.
Yeah, you love that radio. You love listening to the games on the radio. I don't mind them. They're fun listening to. Sometimes. You know what? Let's go raid. Because it won't let me raid. Let's go raid our boy Referee Clark. He's playing like adventure. It looks like an Adventure Time kind of game with the Adventure Time / Gumball / artwork kind of game. I don't even know what it is, but let's go raid him. Referee Clark. I met him at TwitchCon, and he's a great dude. He also referees at professional wrestling, and he's a good person. So let's go raid him. Love you guys. We'll be back. We'll let you know all on the socials when we're back next and what movies we choose, because we have to choose a topic for January, and we'll talk about that this weekend or in the very near future. But guys, stay tuned for more from Tight Spots Lounge with Nakattack and JR. We love y'all. Have a good night and peace out.
Bye.